Fine. All right, here we are. Let's just let it warm up a bit, and at 11 p.m. we'll start this shindig, ladies and gents. 2 minutes. GMT master race. All right, need to reset the stream. Start it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's witching hour. Welcome to the first episode of Zero's Witching Hour. Zero, that'll be me, yours truly, host for tonight. And this is the first episode of me basically trying to teach you how to draw interactively. A bit of art theory, a bit of party, a bit of chat. Um, we'll try and keep it meta, we'll try and keep it fun. And I'll basically just explain to you a bunch of basic drawing techniques. And this program is also featured on a website called www.watchmework.com. It's my first it's my first schedule stream of any kind. So I'm trying to take it a little bit more serious from here on out. And yeah, let's just have some fun. I mean, let's just start drawing. I mean, and where do we start? I mean, usually at the beginning, right? What could be lovelier than an empty canvas, right? A filled canvas, I suppose. So the software you're seeing here is Adobe Photoshop CC 2015, the latest one. And this program is obviously for photo editing, but it is an immensely awesome paint and drawing program as well. And like, I will be showing you some of the secrets of Adobe Photoshop and how you can use it as a powerful tool for your art, for your designs. However, it's cool for Twitch because you can kind of update things as you go along. People can see you in real time, and that's what we're doing now. So let's start at the beginning, right? What do we need? We need a circle and a square and a triangle. Um, the three basic shapes of geometry. Then, what else are we gonna need? We're gonna need some color. So let's get some red. Whee, red. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the overwolf. Go away. Ah, thank you. We're gonna need some blue. Yeah, like so. And we're gonna need some yellow. So here we go. While I do this, like, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, like my background in art and drawing. Like, I'm zero. Like, I live in Vienna, but I've moved around a whole bunch. And basically, when it comes to art, I did art higher level in high school here in Vienna at the international school, and then I studied illustration and graphic design in England in Lincoln. And before I came back to Vienna to do a master's degree in art and economy, because artists, as you know, are notoriously poor at marketing themselves. So that helped. I mean, like, so I've got a decent enough background in like classic techniques and some more meta and technology aspects, which I will be sharing with you. But without further ado, I mean, let's begin explaining this. Like a big inspiration, like in my time, like when I started really like taking drawing seriously, were a bunch of links which I'm gonna happily share with you if I find them. Right. First of all, there's basic color theory. Here we go. Right. The color wheel: red, yellow, and blue. And those three colors are the additive colors of the color spectrum. Meaning, if you would add them all on top of each other, what do you get? La di da. The answer, of course, is wait. I can show you like this. Photoshop is fun because you can just move things around. Ah, or can you? Yes. We can simulate the color effects here. The colors already on top of it. The system in Photoshop works like the layers on one of those old projector machines, like in school. And like you can put sheets on top of each other to mix colors in a different way. But of course, if you mix all these three colors together in equal parts, you get black. That is the law of additive color, right? This doesn't appear black because the opacity of the brush that I was using wasn't set to 100%, but to 60 and 82. But if I would put it here to 100%, 100 yellow, 100 red. Oops. This would be a new level to simulate that effect. If it would. Ah! I'm joking. I'm a bit nervous, guys. My bad. Let's try that again. Yellow. Red. And some blue. Get a very dark color. The brushes are letting me down just a tiny bit. But let's just begin painting using like the basic shapes and basic colors, right? So let's start with Start with blue. And I would like to just draw a basic shape um, from which we can then flesh out. Of course, I have an image in my mind of what I will draw for you guys, but I won't quite reveal what it is yet. I'm sure you guys will see soon enough what we're painting. And as you see, this blue, even though it's the same color like this, put it on top of each other, it becomes darker. As such, we can simulate different kinds of brushes. As you see, this one is like a spotty kind of brush, um, which simulates a wet brush, right? We can use a white fan brush, for example, or finer brush like that. It's basic shapes. Like you have a lot of variety, and you can use these mark making techniques to create a whole lot of value in the paintings that you make. So yeah, that's just the beginnings of a painting in Photoshop, like, and just for your information, like I'm not using a drawing tablet or anything like that. Like I'm just using my mouse. It's just like you can practice this, like obviously it's very, very smart to have a lot of practice in like traditional mark making. Like if you just have to sit down with a pencil sometimes and like grind it out a bit, you know. Let's make the flow of the brush a bit darker because it's getting a bit too rough. Create some shapes by going over layer and layer. We slowly create a structure and the basic shapes of what we'll try to show. And like as you're learning to draw, at first like it's all kind of a bit haphazard and you're just drawing because you enjoy. But eventually, there's a system to it. There's also a science to the art, which is awesome. There's the certain techniques that you can learn and philosophies and schools of thought and tried and tested things that people have developed over the ages, mark making techniques. Um, People often say that talent plays a big part in creating stuff in drawing and painting or arts and crafts. Sure, it does. But really, most of it is perseverance. You must practice to to improve, and it can be highly frustrating. Like you plateau out sometimes, and you have problems coming up with new things to draw, and you don't seem to be improving. You never see like all the pieces of paper that people throw away when they're learning how to draw. Like what what the public then sees is usually the tiniest percentage. Let's see if there's anyone in the chat at the moment. Feel free, guys, to of course use the song request function. The Twitch channel does have a nightbot, and with exclamation mark song request and the ID of a YouTube video, you can request basically any song. I'm sure some of our awesome mods will show you how it's done while we continue on our merry way here. Perhaps some of you have a clue of what's going on. This is the color picker tool with which we can return to the colors we used earlier. And yeah, you just start building it. But before we continue, I'd like to make you aware of a couple more amazing resources like this art tutorial by Android Arts by Prometheus Ange that I found like 10 years ago or so. It's simply amazing. Amazing art tutorial, which I will share with you in the chat now. And it really covers like great stuff, all the basics, the onion, light stuff, exposure materials, shadows, skin tones, hues, color relativity, color identity, etc. These are all like topics that we can visit in later episodes if you guys enjoy this. And of course, there are a lot of like terms and terminology. Like if you're learning the science behind the art, like the dimensions of light, the dimensions of color, these kind of terms which help you with photography and videography as well, like exposure value, like how long the light hits something, the hue, the variations in the color, saturation, how strong a color is, um, and so far. And here, this is the key, the onion, thinking in layers. You start with a simple structure and you build it up, you know. We've got some music. You know, guys, just let me know if there's like a mic problem or anything like that while I continue to draw. Any feedback is always appreciated. Let's continue. You always start by making like a layered base, right? You need to build a foundation. This is what we're building right now. We can already suggest, just by using darker color tones, we can suggest shape and and depth where the shadows will be. You can begin to sense certain things. There's some nice music happening in the channel. Thanks to all you DJs out there. Aha. And yeah, like we can in Photoshop, like it's so easy to switch around between like different tools and textures. And this is not even beginning with the filters. You have unlimited space and time to, well, maybe not time, but you have unlimited space to paint and unlimited color, because art supply is expensive, yo. So yeah, but we can make do, like the digital art revolution is something which was brought upon by software like Adobe Photoshop. You can't discount that. Like how awesome and how powerful these tools are and what they've done. They've changed the landscape of what we can create. Like a user in the channel, like a good friend of mine, like Leo recently asked, like, is it still art or is it a different kind of art if it's on the screen, if it's digital? It is different. It's not actually physical. It's a digital manifestation, right? But does that make it any less, any more or less real? You know, Probably not. It's just as real as you know what I mean. And then like I can take these zeros and ones into the print shop and make a tangible object out of this. So, mhm. So, like slightly darker hue. Mhm. La la la. Make it a bit less intense. Just start adding like some three-dimensional values to the drawing, like where the heights and the lows are. What what we can decide. We can begin to decide like as we paint. And you can decide this before, of course, like where the light comes from, because all of this is just light theory. Lights and shadows. That's what gives stuff shape. That's what gives it form. It's refracted light, color. Sunlight, refracted sunlight gives color, and it's all sunlight. Without the sun and without the atmosphere, we wouldn't have any of this. Who knows? Perhaps on a different world, somewhere out there, they have green skies and purple skies and red skies instead of blue skies. So yeah, it's a wild world. So, as you perhaps can tell already, this is our old buddy Leonardo from the Turtles. Can I get a cowabunga in the channel? Also, of course, guys, feel free to share the link on your Facebook, on your Twitch accounts, wherever. Get these people in here. Maybe we can all learn a thing or two. We've got bagpipes going on. Oh yeah, some electric guitars. This is good. This is good. You know, I also work as a music journalist, as it so happens. You know, in Vienna, we founded a company called rockvideos.at a couple of years ago. And it was my buddy Robbie's idea to start making high quality live footage of local and international artists. And this started with like two board DSLR cameras and like the concert of a friend. And like now it's like a fully fledged operation, you know, like we cover concerts in moving picture and photo. We can record audio. Like you can check all of this out on www.rockvideos.at. It's a different project. Also on the YouTube channel. That's like you know what I do when I'm not here streaming, right? Like one of the things I do. Right. La la. Photoshop, there are various hotkeys and things to make our lives easier. Like, for example, if I scroll with the mouse button, like the middle mouse wheel, if you have one, it goes up and down. But if I hold control, it goes left and right, which is very nice. And if I hold Alt and scroll, it zooms in and out. So you have a cool amount of control there in it. Incidentally, what do you call a chav in a box? In it. What do you call a sav? A chav in a safe. No, never mind. A chav in a filing cabinet. Sorted. All right, let's get some more texture going on this Leonardo. We can create depth by varying the kinds of brushes we use. We use also to simulate different mediums. You know, we can simulate markers, watercolor, acrylics, spray paint, whatever your flavor, right? This is a bit too minty, the screen. Let's make it a bit more turtleish. Oh, that's some intense music. Liking it. All right, now we fill it out. You know, and like I don't know if like people always say like you shouldn't draw over the lines, but fuck it, draw over the lines. You know, we're gonna erase it again most likely later anyways and cover it up. And this is Photoshop, you know, you can always just go over it again. There's no problem. We can save up to 2 colors in our quick selection. I mean, there's far more advanced tools that we'll get later, but over here we can have 2 colors, and if you press the letter X on your keyboard, they switch around. That was wrong. Let's open up the history panel, which is a bit like cheating, with which you can go back in time, um, which is awesome, right? Let's create a new layer, just in case, and start painting with some new values to make this rocker really pop, right? Give a dog a bone. That's exactly right, guys. In times of strife, we're all looking for a bone, but you can't be looking for handouts. You know, you always gotta pay your like pull your weight, as it were. No one would hope that that would be a standard modus operandi, but it is not, alas. So we make do. Banhammer is coming. Lowering the volume a bit. Um, guys, don't turn it up too loud because then I can't focus. Yeah, but I could just turn you into mute. That would be fine. I mean, like Snoop Dogg, I can deal with that. You know, say you believe in your stress. It's the motherfucking deal, Double G, Snoop Dogg. Na 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 na. Well, I guess I can deal with that, guys. Good shit. And like we can start adding more texture to the whole shebang now. Hey. La la la. Click, 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 click. Just adding some fine grain to make it less CGI again, because like the brushes in Photoshop, they are digital, so if you rub over it too much, it becomes like too liquid almost, you know. So with a bit of burning, let's multiply. We can make it appear more natural. Just keep switching around in the different values of green and blue and brown, all the colors that a reptile. I'm sorry, a mutated amphibian might have. If someone could put the turtle soundtrack at some point, you know, that would be just well, you know, like as you're learning to draw, like you start researching various topics to help you on your journey of becoming a better artist. Like you begin learning about anatomy, for example, and this is very vital. Like every artist has something in their mind which is called a library, right? Like a certain amount of things that you can draw like off the top of your head. Like I can draw turtles off the top of my head, so that's what I'm showing you right now. Like Leonardo is in my personal library, right? Let's combine some of these layers and double up a bit. Ah, here we go. Do a bit of a burn. Wam 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 wam. Bum bum rum bum bum. Mm-hmm. Flow a bit more. Like obviously, like on a face, like there's certain muscle groups and bones under the skin which you need to bring them to life by just kind of suggesting with color and shadows where things might be. Can make things more detailed and less detailed if we change brush sizes. Like with a small brush, you need to work a lot finer. Let's take which one do we take? Let's see what else they have. Oh, it's always good to add stuff. This ah that's a bit too dark. And too too much opacity. Let's go way down. Let's start drawing in a bit more detail. Oh, like if you use too much shadows, things disappear a little bit. So you have to be careful to always bring it back with lighter colors now and again. Begin to suggest finer shapes, random, like where the skull would be. How do I scroll? Again, I explained this before. don't be there, but like where, let's say that the light will be in front of Leonardo, right? So the shadow is behind him, so it's only kind of at his back. Oppa, that was too far in. And now we can already start like finally going over the things we suggested crudely before, just going over the circles that I keep on drawing on top of each other, that's all it is. Random basic shapes, repeated, like this kind of eye structure, like I've drawn this like a million times, like I've practiced it to get it right, like it looks easy now, but like I really like I've practiced this so many times and I would get angry with everything. Here we can start adding some folds under where the eyes are, with the cloth folds. Start learning of physics for gravity and stuff, so you can start learning. So you can start drawing clothes and stuff properly, because fabric falls in certain ways, different materials get pulled to the ground in certain way, they reflect the light in certain ways. Let's look at Prometheus' art tutorial again, like here, for example. There's glossy surfaces and dull surfaces, matte and reflective, different materials, like bumpy plastic, skin, it's really irregular, it's not a flat surface. Cotton paper, like Prometheus Android, like he explains it really well. You should check it out, like the link was somewhere in the channel. It's awesome. Let's continue with Leo. All right. For all of you guys who've tuned in the meantime, welcome, welcome. This is the Witching Hour. And we've drawn a little bit of Leonardo so far, while learning a bunch of stuff. Accidentally learning a whole bunch of stuff about the universe as we're doing things. Like, it should be fun, right? He's got a really, really big mouth. Let's make it a little bit more three-dimensional, a bit more realistic. Anatomically, this is the chin that I'm drawing here. Slight dimple. Turtles have short necks, so we just have to suggest it a bit. Here's like his Adam's apple, because Leo is a guy, you can add masculine features. Suggest like these kind of things to show that he's a dog, like a dude, and not a lady, right? For lady, you wouldn't draw this, otherwise, it'd be weird, perhaps. And this is the collarbone. It kind of goes around. If we're looking at him slightly from the top. Shoulder. And of course, like, it's important to realize that the head, his skull, is casting a shadow onto his neck. So we need to draw that in, right? Just like this. So it looks like. Wow. Ooh, that's too bright. Let's make a new layer. Tested that. Take a different brush. Just jumping around, pretending like I have different kind of art materials on my computer, switching between colored pencils and watercolor and acrylics and paint spray. That's like the kind of freedom that Photoshop affords you nowadays. And like I said, art supplies be expensive. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay, what have we? Now we'll see what. Ooh, it's pretty nice actually for some texture. Dissolve. Every layer, it has different kind of light settings. This is normal. This is dissolve. This is darken. This is multiply. See, we can play around with these things until we find something that we like. There's really like a very strong subconscious element which plays into drawing any kind of picture. What you perceive to look good and how things are positioned on the page and compositional things, what colors match with each other. These are all things we're going to look into more in depth in the future. For she is. As 99 red balloons go by. I love this song. Da, 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 da. Where is so define the shape a bit, the silhouette of a drawing plays a very important part in how you perceive it aesthetically from a distance. So if your drawing occupies the space well, like if the borders are defined clearly, it's easier on the eyes, right? Subconsciously. So we try and make it nice for us viewers, and it's also like the more often we go over a line, the less rough we can make it look. You know, if you only spend 5 minutes on something, it'll show, right? It'll look like something that you only spent 5 minutes on. One of my professors back in England, in Lincoln, you know, like after I handled it another kind of half-assed effort, you know, and I didn't give so much of a shit back in the day, like at university, you know, like you know what it's like, and like and he told me, you know, like where's the love, right? You gotta enjoy it, right? And consider it. If you only half-assed throw a bunch of lines down, you know, people are gonna know, and you can grade this. There are objective criteria, like when you're at art school, your mark making skills, like have you understood how the shadows work, how the lights fall? Yeah, let's start giving Leo here a bit more personality. You know, like the turtle eyes under their masks, they're always just like this plain kind of white. And a blue little window. That's a classic. And with the highlights, with the white, we immediately get a much more three-dimensional feel to the whole shebang. It's the furrow in his brow. Oh, yeah, you have to draw these things so people know where they're supposed to look, right? I need some more blue. Let's take the color picker, grab it from over here, back to the brush. Bum, 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 bum. La, 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 la. Like, good design is really not about how much you can add, but how much you can take away. You know, there's something called overworking a picture. If you spend too much time in a certain section of it, like you can ruin it just because you make it, you add too many shadows, or all of a sudden there's a highlight where there shouldn't be one, and it makes the drawing incorrect, right? Like, for example, you can draw the neck of a person too long, or the shapes of like the eyes too close or too far apart, and it'll look weird. If, for example, if you're trying to create a realistic look, and the nose is too far down or the eyes are too far apart, it'll look weird. And with practice, you just know how to place things and how to just make it seem more real. By learning about anatomy, about physics, about gravity, shadows, it all helps. Yeah, that's already getting somewhere, slowly getting somewhere. How much time have we got? Oh, we've got another good 25 minutes. Sure, by the end of that, we'll have a presentable Leonardo drawing that we don't need to be too ashamed of. I hope you guys like what you're seeing so far. Like, any feedback is appreciated. Like, remember, like, the stream is very new. I've only started doing this very recently, and like, I'm quite nervous. You know, like, I say like a lot, and a lot. I'm aware of that. These are all little mannerisms. I will get in check eventually with more practice as the stream grows, as I hopefully grow as a streamer. Beware, guys. Gaming, arts, and music, right here, regularly nowadays. The stream is new, about 2 weeks in. Hit 1,000 views today. That's fantastic. Love you guys so much. We had a raid yesterday while we were playing Total War Arena from Lionheart's channel. It was awesome. Some of you guys have stuck around. Massive shout out again to Lionheart and his crew. Rub it up. Oh, I love this song. Africa. Living in Africa, the light just falls differently there. If you live close to the equator, the sunlight is different, and it just makes everything appear slightly strange. African sundowns around the equator in Kenya, it's just spectacular. If you're out of the cities, somewhere in the countryside, there's no pollution or light pollution or anything of that sort, and you can just really see what the light can do. But we're all made of star stuff at the end of the day. So Africa. That's where we're all from. What? Do I like that brush? Nah, let's take a different one. Something that helped me immensely as a source of inspiration when I was feeling down, when I needed some discipline, was reading a thread on one of my favorite websites called conceptart.org, and it's by a guy called Mind Candyman, and the thread is called Journey of an Absolute Rookie, and it started in 2002, September 21st, 2002, and Mind Candyman decided that he wanted to become an artist now, and I'm gonna post you guys the stream, the link into the stream, and I'll put it up on the screen in a second. Mind Candyman, right? This is how it started. This is how it began. September 21st, 2002, with a cube and a cylinder. And yeah, it's a cube and it's a cylinder. It's not very good, but it's a start. And he put it out there. And on this forum, conceptart.org, the people are ruthless. They'll tear you to shreds. But he kept at it, And now, several years later, his paintings look like this. Isn't that incredible? From this to this? Are you serious? Yeah, my God. Okay. Back to Leonardo. Oh, the website I'm streaming to. Yeah, it'll be on. It should be this, hopefully. It's this first episode. Much more of a test audience situation, a test screening. I quite intentionally didn't share it around too much because I do like practice, and I gotta build up my confidence a bit. So for the guys of you listening right now, thanks for being here. And I can tell that there's already a few more of you now than there were before. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Leonardo is coming to life slowly but surely. We need those. Pop it. Exactly. And hold out. It. La la. Oh, I'm messing around in the sidebar over here, which you can't see on the stream. Changing the transparency of some of the layers, just so I remember what I was doing. In Photoshop, you can turn individual layers on and off. Go back in time. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, as you can tell, we're already a whole lot further than we were. But let's keep going. Let's start adding some more interesting colors into this. All the turtle spectrum: blue, purple, red, and orange. Maybe we can pay homage to the other guys. We'll be able to draw Donatello, Raphael, and Mikey in episodes to come and explain more in-depth techniques and philosophical brain farts involving the turtles and just general draftsmanship and painting and just, talking about art and life and just doing the things we do, like I went to school for this shit. I can't believe it. And now I get to show it to you guys. Like live on the air. Makes me happy. Warms my little heart. Now we need to make him green, my friends. Green. And I would like to have like a sponge. Oh, I like that. Good. Good. Loving the music choices, by the way, guys. Loving the DJing. You guys in the chat are doing very well. It's not becoming a daily series yet, but it will become a weekly series. There are plans for second episodes next Saturday at 11 p.m. Same place. And of course, today I have forgotten to introduce our co-host to you guys. What a shame. Here with me right now is Cola Cow. He's loading. Where are you? There he is. Cola Cow. My cat, my buddy. Oh, that's Bella Cat. This is Cola. He's here today, chilling with us. Source of relaxation, love, and motivation always, every day. So hello, Cola. Oh, this is too much. That was too strong. Blend in those highlights we were drawing earlier. Might even be too bright. We can always go back. We can always delete layers. In case we screw up, we can always go back and forth. It's like Bob Ross said, we don't make mistakes. We only have little happy accidents. And it's true, you shouldn't judge yourself too much. Don't be too hard on yourself. I throw away a lot of drawings that you never get to see. Because not everything is worth showing, but now, I'm live on the air, so I have to perform, right? The people demand entertainment. Let's add some scales, begin adding scales to Leonardo, because he does have some amphibian elements to him, if we remember. Some lore on the turtles. It's actually an American comic, but with a lot of Japanese influences. Ninjutsu, of course, the preferred martial arts of choice of the turtles. Master Splinter being there. Their sensei, always guiding them when they're acting up. and they're always there to help us out when things get rough. The turtle boys, they'll be there. Cool. All right. Now I would like to give Leonardo a contrasting outline with a brush that's set to 100% opacity. Because I would like it to remain its color throughout. Derpy derp derp, where am I? Where am I? I would like to have maybe this brush. Let's test it over here. Nope, it's not solid enough for what I would like. So let's just take the solid circle. Back to basics. Next time I figured we'd draw perhaps um, a cubist drawing using only squares, or a triangular one. Or we could pointillize, use only dots, perhaps dabble in some pop art. Or we can combine bits and bobs, what we like. Ah, we have the correct opacity. Now we do. Whoa. No, I don't like that. That's not pretty. Some music, DJ, if you would be so kind. Perhaps you'll even have. Actually. Oh, yeah, because this actually needs to be a little bit more. Let's see. It's not quite that easy. May have to clean the mouse pad. It's full of ash. Smoking kills, remember. Do I like the red on the inside? I don't. As you can see, there's no perfect black or white values yet in this drawing. We save those for the very end. Like, that looks okay. Close it over here. Go over the line up there. But not to worry. Even if it appears like I'm drawing over lines and on top of things quite haphazardly, there is in fact a way to make this look cool. Oh, that's not it. Perhaps a hard light compared to normal. Yes. Awesome. For real already. And you can also use these kind of outlines, key lines as they're called, to play with the positive and the negative space. The painting is a positive space. It's white pieces in between blue bandana and his body. That's the negative space. You can use that for compositional purposes and for just design bits, styling. Here we go. Much better. Let's put a hard light perhaps even further back. Yeah, that's cool. New layer. How much time have we got? 10 minutes. How about some music? Lapida. Over there in the YouTube, picking out a song for you guys. Did you know that video game music is actually designed to keep you focused and not distract you at the same time? That's why if you listen to video game music remixes while drawing, it's very relaxing and not distracting. Okay, where was I? Where was I? All right, let's start finishing up, Leo, because we only have 10 minutes left. So let's start adding the blacks and the whites, yeah? This kind of tip. Music you're hearing is from the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's called Far Horizons. It is awesome. And now with the black brush, you can see like you can close off the shapes and clearly define what's supposed to be where. And now you can see that his bandana stops there, and it's not that his face doesn't, that his skin doesn't turn blue, but that they're separate items. Just using a black key line to add a bit of a comic book flavor to simulate a Sharpie marker and or ink, which you would use to finish off a drawing like this in the real world. But what is real and what is not? Those lines continue to blur more and more every day. Aha! And his bandana is just kind of twisting as it's falling. Yeah, it's got some shadows here and here because it's twisting. It twists again here. Just to make it look fun, make it look cool. Leo a bit more of a smile. Finish off some of the anatomy detail. Collarbone. And the neck. The muscles of the back and the beginning of the arm muscles. Oops, that was a bit too far. So here, the chest, boobies, muscle groups. And yeah, just close them off. Just finish them up with some simple lines. Wow. Just if they're like crooked or seem really rough, just go over them again. And we can make it appear like I meant to do this all along. Most of the time I just start drawing something and it ends up looking completely different than I had envisioned. But the more practice you have, the better and clearer this image in your head becomes. And as you draw it, it looks more like you wanted it to. And finally, we'll just add a few more highlights where the light is strongest, where the sun is shining from. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here, here, here. Some folds on the knot, up on the bandana. And yeah, I guess it's Leonardo. He doesn't look anything like a traditional Leonardo, but I just painted him from scratch. Just to explain some things to you guys, which you may or may not have been aware before. And with coming episodes, we'll be delving much deeper into drawings and tackling bigger projects, perhaps chronicling the development of a commissioned drawing of mine, for example, when I sink more than 1 hour into something, it'll of course look different. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Zero's Witching Hour, episode 1, Design 101. I had a wicked time. Good work in the chat, you guys. Click that little heart under the stream. Follow up watchmework.com, and of course here my channel Twitch TV/zeroooc. And yeah, keep rocking. Kapla Loktar. Good luck and fun. And that's me for today, episode 1. Hope you guys enjoy it. Back to rocking out with the games. Restarting the stream. Peace out. No. No, it's not streaming right now. I will. Let me just check. Because of the music? Ah, I'm I'm echoing, by the way. Cool. Hey guys. Uh, cool. I think. I mean, like the hour passed pretty quickly. I hope that was useful. Like, I hope I did a good job. Like, I'm just trying to put a bit more structure into the streaming, and these kind of things are really excellent practice for this kind of stuff. I'm gonna bring up the stream again in a second. And we're back.